Exiting obesity. Got a friend who exited being obese. He did it. Now he's looking real good, man. Real good. He's gonna explain to us how he did it in this podcast. Let's go. It's a good wall.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shame about this tiny wee bit, but whatever. If I do
what
that, is that
what
too
is that?
much?
No, 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 no.
That's a hinge for my door.
Oh, that's all right. Look, I mean, I've got a
Sorry for me.
fucking massive printer like behind me.
Yeah, you're behind the printer and I'm behind the head of my bed.
I got like a big massive printer looking like I don't know if you can see it on your angle anyway, but on the camera angle, it looks like a big car, like like the back of a car.
Like you got a car like coming through the
Yeah,
through the curtain,
yeah. Like a big sports car.
working on something.
I'd say this is the first time that we've actually had like a video call. Every call that we've had like is a video phone. And I'd say
Yes.
you're looking pretty good, man. Skin's looking pretty good.
Yeah. Uh,
No grays.
I do get no grays. I get that mutant white hair every now and then, but that turns whatever.
I
Can't help
mean,
it.
I don't know if you've ever
Yeah,
left
no,
your beard to if have you ever let your beard have a chance to grow? Have you seen
kind
any
of.
gray hairs yet?
Oh, non beard, no. I don't like growing. Like I genuinely, I just hate. I hate how I look. Uh, I don't think it would. I think even if I left it, it wouldn't be like thick enough to be really like impressive. But I just say like, oh, you ever thought about facial hair? And I was like, nah, man, I got a jaw, I'm fine. I just
Yeah, but even the people that like grow their hair, they're like, and they shave it, but they have like the capability of a
all
massive
right,
beard. They shave it anyway, right? And
you good there. Depends how you live. But no, I get up. I get up every day. Get up every day. Man. I shave this bit like every 2 days, and I shave this wee tash. The tash grows in like by the end of the day. That's really in. That looks dumb as hell. So I shave that every like.
yeah, you go from like model citizen to like potential
Yeah.
threat instantly.
What's he thinking?
That's a shame that because back in the past, mustache was all about trying to be part of something, trying to like
Yes.
you're a man, but you're also like you're equipped with the knowledge of clean shaven, right? Do you know like a haircut
Yeah.
with the short on the sides but long on the top thing? It's like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're a
No.
man.
Yeah. Mustache used to be like dapper. Yeah,
Yeah,
it can be. You just don't see him much. I don't know if it's still a thing. I know at one point in India,
hipsters
like
making it
it
big
was
back then.
mandatory. It was mandatory for policemen to have mustaches.
Well, it was
I don't know if
mandatory
in
for the army, for so many different armies to have mustaches.
really why
Yeah, to try and bring everyone together, right? And
just part
and
of the
if
uniform.
you couldn't grow one, they would actually like stick one on.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, to show that like a
That is
man,
so annoying. Yeah, it's like what is it? Keep your socks dry and keep your fucking mustache on.
Hey, you can take your mustache off at night time, but you gotta put it back on in the morning for your wife. All
For your
right,
wife,
fuck.
would you write your latest? All right.
Dude,
Well, where do we start? We're talking about.
I thought we were starting, but then I was like, this is like retarded. But
I
but first, you'll recognize this shirt, bro. Where is this from?
do recognize it. What's the first thing? This is my "Do Anything and Get Away with It" shirt. Damn it! God, I didn't even remember I said that. I thought I said something like, "This is my favorite T-shirt."
Or as I'd like to call this shirt, the pot noodle shirt. The little
What?
packet in the pot noodle, the soy sauce.
Yeah, that's how it reminds you of.
That's what this is. But where the fuck did it come from,
Like,
man? Where'd it come from?
where did it come from? Dude, early days, man. So I was okay, based off the pictures, I was wearing that when I was like 15. So that's my mother was definitely just still buying my clothes. So that's gonna be from like that'll be from like Dunfermline, like Next, or maybe she was still buying stuff from Gap. I don't know. I don't know what's on the label, but no, that at one point that was my favorite T-shirt when I was
Does he even have one?
like 15.
Uh, okay. You got a top three. What was
Oh
it?
shit!
So you said Gap. What was the other one? Next.
Next, I think,
Okay.
and then
Have a guess of the
is it one of?
of the top three. There's another one. What's the last one?
I
Everyone
mean,
everyone fucking shops in the UK when they buy cheap clothes.
yeah,
Where'd they go?
it's gotta be it's gotta be Primark.
It's fucking Primark.
It's a pri-
I spoiled
It's
it.
a fucking Primark shirt. Fantastic.
Yeah, talking about India and like Pakistan.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
there you go.
And people think, well, why the fuck do I have it then? And to be
Yeah,
honest, I can't really remember exactly
no,
when you gave it me.
I do think no, I do think it's crazy. You still have some of my clothes. Um,
Half of my clothes are yours.
yeah, that would have been what? Like, why would I have done that? Would have I have had too many, or was I like getting too big for it? Because there was definitely, obviously, there's a point where I can no longer wear that shirt. But it's like, when did I give it to you? Before or after that?
Was that at
I think
like
it must have been
max bulk stage like 2015 or what?
Max bulk stage. What do you mean? Is that what me?
Yeah, when you were maximum bulks.
2015. Um, 15, 16, 15 or 16. That's when it started happening. I was looking. I can literally check. You know what? Because it is. It's on my Facebook. Like my mom wishing me happy birthday and stuff. Um.
I think it was like I think it was like 2015, man, because the next year I started making films, and yeah,
Oh
and
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I was trying. I was trying to find any photos or like pictures of me, and I ain't got them. So you'll have more footage of me, like the stage I was at.
it's gonna come over. It's
20.
gonna go over.
I'm on my Facebook. 2014's on my birthday. That's when the long hair and like the weight starts gaining, and then by the next year, yeah, 2015, I'm max bulk.
Ah, right. Well, as you can see, like the shirt, it's it's like a medium, It's like it's all right. So it's definitely
Yeah.
not gonna
So that
fit an obese motherfucker.
no, because what I mean, yeah, that I would have been like 13 stone when I was wearing that. What's more ridiculous is like I was 13 stone since I was 13, and then I didn't lose any weight. I just grew up, and then it kind of like it became more okay. Because this is a fact about me. When I was nine, I was an okay child, and then at some point I just started gaining weight. My parents just like they keep calling me a growing boy, so they just like keep giving me food. I'm having like two bowls. Like I'm like, oh, I fucking love Cocoa Pops. So what do? I fill the bowl to the brim and I eat that, and then I'm like, yeah, I could eat another. So I do that. That's my breakfast: two bowls of cereal. Um, and then yeah, and then from when I was nine, I was 9.5 stone, and then it's just every year it's like 10 stone, 11 stone, 12 stone, and then 13. I stayed at 13 stone till I was 18, and then 19 is when I start gaining weight again.
Nice. To be
That's
honest, I've not used stone in such a long time that I actually forgot 13 stone.
well,
I actually forgot that 13 stone is not 16 stone, which
no, 13 stone is 82 kilos.
yeah, yeah, okay. But what's the weight that you got to? Your maximum.
The weight I got to my max, um, I think it was in kilos. It was like 120 kilos at least.
That's like my maximum bench press.
Yeah, I could have gone to like 122. I might have gone to 122. But I remember, I remember Louis C.K. like making a joke about him realizing how fat he is, and he was like, "I'm pretty sure." He's like, I'm 200 and like 40 pounds. I'm pretty sure your weight isn't supposed to be your age plus 200 pounds." And I remember that joke because it like, because that's what I was at one point. I was like 220 pounds as well or something.
Fuck. Let's go back to the 9-year old, 10-year-old thing, right? Um,
Okay,
you would have been
working on
like
it.
I hadn't known you until we were well like 13 or 13,
13,
14.
14,
Yeah.
like 15, we're like we're really hanging out. So like 14, our friendship is budding, I think.
3 years prior, I would have been half
Hmm.
the weight you were.
That's
But
crazy, man.
like you know, so what were you like when you were 10? You would have been what like how much did you weigh
10,
then?
10 is 10 stone. It like I noticed because it was like so perfect. It was like my weight was going up. I was gaining like a stone every year.
Well, do you know when I was when I was like 11 turning 12, I would have been about 5.
5 stone.
This but that was too far one end, you know? That was too skinny, man.
31, 31 kilos. That's
Something
huge.
yeah, yeah. So that's why people were like, fuck, you know? But I thought I was fat, you know, like at the time, did you even think, wow, hey, everybody looking at me
No,
like,
no. I mean, this is my thing. Um, it's like every time I look back at a picture of me, like 3 years prior, I'm like, damn, is that what I look like? Like my entire life, I've never really realized what I look like because there's how you are, and because what matters is how you feel. And like, I didn't feel like if you don't know what it feels like to not carry that much weight, then you're like, oh, I feel normal. I feel fine. Like I don't feel like there's anything wrong with me
yeah.
because when you're a young kid, you don't have to do anything where you're like weight's gonna hold you back. If anything, it's like it like made me feel stronger because I'm like bigger.
But you never had that like, in your primary school where, you always got like the fat kid and everyone's like, yeah, you fat fuck, like da 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 da. Because I had
No,
that,
well, no, you would have, but like how many kids in your school? Because I do think that matters.
Uh, I mainly remember like in my class, Ross Ingalls,
Your
like
class.
Ross Ingalls was like the only, he was like the only, he was like the fattest one,
Or
and
naming or naming names.
well, fuck, like he's still fat, man, like, but he was known for that, being a clown and being fat and like,
Mhm.
you know, and even in primary school, he was like a clown. So
He was like he came across as a confident dude. I remember that. He was like
I guess he
loud.
was confident, annoying as fuck,
Yeah.
annoying as fuck. But but yeah, so there was like
well,
one or two, really.
well, well, for me, like obviously I know I'm fatter than I was definitely the fattest in my class and in my year. But my thing is like you can't make fun of the people in your class because I grew up in a school where there's between like 60 and 70 students in the entire school. So it's like you have to get on with your year, otherwise you have no friends.
Yeah,
It's like you can't make enemies in your friend group. It was like me, like 2 to 3 girls in my year, and then like 5 to 6 guys, and we were just all friends. So it's like, yeah, I'm the fat one, um, but we're all pals, so they're not making fun of me.
well, I mean that's got to do with like you as a person, right? If you got a really great
May
person and they're fat, right? Like
it could, it could
what
be that
the comedian Fluffy, whatever, I can't remember his name. The
something
Latino guy,
places. Yeah, I'm not fat. I'm fluffy.
right? he's different than,
Yeah, great personality.
right? He's different than like you know,
Hmm.
Donald Trump or something. You got two fat guys, but one guy people like more, you know?
Yeah, very definitely perceived. I guess I also wasn't the fattest in my school, because there was a kid like two, because I was like I said, I was in shape. I was like a normal kid for the first few years, and then it's like primary, I don't know, four, I start gaining the weight. But by then, there's another kid who's like he's like even bigger than me. So it's like I'm not even the fat kid in the school. So I'm just kind of like, what's the point in making fun of me? Because I could just point over there. I was like, yeah, but look at that guy,
Fuck. And then
like a safety net.
when you got right into high school, like I remember I first saw you, and it's just like you just look like a typical like you know typical like
Yeah,
you still look like you didn't look skinny, you didn't look ripped, you didn't look anything like that. You still looked like fat, but not.
just
It
just
wasn't like fat
just
fat.
average, man.
This average
Yeah,
fat, right?
yeah,
This
just an
n-
average dude, nothing apart. Because I was disillusioned in high school about my height as well, because I saw a GP in my like first year. I had my growth spurt like early. So in like first year I was a tall kid. Because I hit like 5'6", 5'7" in the first year.
what
Um
really?
no, yeah, like a GP like came and saw me. Like I don't know, she was doing checkups on people, and she told me if 100 boys had been born on the same day as me, only 10 of them would be taller than me right now. So like in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm a tall dude. Um, so,
Just you wait, buddy.
no, I'm freaking not. But um, yeah, so like early in high school, the kind of weight, the fatness like disappeared, and then it just kind of stayed the same almost through all of high school. It's kind of crazy.
But I remember, and you'll be able to see this picture of when we were in London on that art trip. And that would have been like
Oh
16 or
yeah,
something around that time, man.
yeah.
16. You started to lose weight, and I saw it. I could see it here on your chest. I could see the bones more, right? When you started doing the no lunch plan, you remember that? No lunch for
Did I
me.
stop?
You skipped it out every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lunch was yeah. Lunch was very uneventful. I would either have the same thing every day, or like you said, I just started missing it. I don't remember why I started doing that.
To lose weight?
I don't. Well, maybe I don't feel like I lost. Like I'm wondering if, because you're right. I do look. I remember those pictures. I do look like the leanest I've ever looked. Weirdly, but I'm wondering if that was like.
We'll get to that, man.
Um.
I got something else that's the leanest you've ever looked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
For
later
real.
on your
So even.
on your competitions,
Well, yeah, yeah. That's the lightest I've ever been.
the most gaunt motherfucker. But yeah, we'll get back to the London trip thing.
Yes. Oh, the London. Yeah, I'm just wondering if like the rest of me start to develop. So like I got my height, and then I was wondering if like my obviously yeah, we are like 15, 16. So by then I've started like I first picked up like dumbbells. I got dumbbells for Christmas when I was 15. So I wonder if it was just like kind of like toning and like just the like puberty in general, just like starting to develop my shape.
Well, you were also doing
I wonder if I contribute to it.
judo for a while as well.
Oh, I don't.
For a few years.
I dropped the judo by then. What was I doing for exercise? I think I was just regularly exercising like normal. Judo was like, um, what was that? That was like 10 to like 13 or 14, I think. And then, or nine. I think it started at 9. And then I dropped it by the time we were on that art trip. But by the time we were on that art trip, we were already like working out together, right? So doing
Yeah.
shit like doing consistent. My piece of paper that came with my dumbbells said do like 15 reps every day. So that's what I was doing. No like proper plan. I was just doing like reps every day, and just using my muscles. So it wasn't like major development, but when you're 15, you just not many people started by then. So I think perspective's a thing. It's like because I was by a few years later, by the end of high school, I'm like I'm not even like uh the buffest uh dude in the school or whatever. I just started early, so it was noticeable.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I remember looking at your chest and your arms, thinking, "That's good size," you know. But then I would always remember, oh yeah. But then your lower side, you know, stomach area, more fat, right?
Yeah.
It was never like cut, you know. It was never, you know, it's never a
No,
cheese board.
because I was still like 13 stone, which around there. Like I never lost that much weight. It was just I swear it was just like toning. Um yeah, so I still had the weight. But that's just how I'm that's genes. That's just how I'm structured. Like this top bit's good. This is always like it always looks good. I had to gain a lot of weight before that started disappearing. And then I could just go like downwards. It's like my structure is like to start with, my structure is like a square anyway. Like
Yeah, I guess you get that from your dad, eh? More than your mom,
maybe
since
maybe
your mom's like a midget.
I'm like a I'm definitely like a lower body. Like I got good thighs. I'm like built to be like a lower body machine or whatever.
And
That's how I
even
feel.
and when you're in the swimming pool, we did the test to see if you could float, and it was like that
Yes,
was fucking weird. Like
that
the
was weird.
distribution of your like
My
weight.
yeah. I mean, I've looked that up. That's a legit thing. Like it's tougher for male swimmers to swim because they've not got enough fat and their bodies weigh them down because just the distribution's off.
I guess that makes sense for.
I
No,
remember
fuck it.
going to the swimming pool and there's these like, like overweight, like 50-year-old kind of whales over this side, and they're swimming way easier than I am because I'm not a good swimmer. Plus, plus my thighs were weighing down my body. I was like, this is a nightmare.
Yeah, but wasn't it also like your bones? Your
My
bones,
bones.
was that part of
What do
it?
you think?
You remember? So
No.
I was
What
we
do you
were
mean?
floating, right? We are floating,
Yes.
and I was floating, and you were sinking a little bit, right? Was that because of
Yeah.
like bones when we looked it up, or are you talking about like it's just the muscle that drops
It
you,
was
brings
the
you back
because
down?
at that, like I said, at that point, I had enough. Um, I had little enough fat that it wasn't. I like I don't your muscles don't float very well. So I think my thighs were like bringing me down. My thighs were like sinking me just slightly under, like where my nostrils needed to be to float. Um, I don't think that happens anymore. I remember I went to Australia, and by the time I'm in Australia, I was the time you're talking about. I'm like 72 kilos. When I'm in Australia, I got gained a lot of weight there. I went from like 78 to like 84. And by the time I'm 84, I'm floating above water, fine again. So it's very
Nice.
little. It takes
Fat,
very little.
like fat saves your
Oh
life.
yeah, dude, they got so much more. Yeah, they got so many more flavor, like new flavor and stuff. You had to eat everything. Like I was probably hitting like the like 3,000 calories every single day, and I'm like, oh, it's so good though.
Not skipping lunch this time.
Because that's it. Dude, like, what I've trained more than anything is like the amount of food I can eat. So I'm like, I could still very easily like eat way too much, and that's why like over the pandemic I got back to like 100 kilos.
What?
I did, yeah, and I didn't notice. And this is the problem. This is why, for me, this is why weight's a problem is because you don't notice. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't notice until you see a picture of yourself like a few years ago, and you were like, "Shit, that's what I look like." I had no idea I looked like that, and it's like, it was only, again, it's only like once we're out of the pandemic, and like, oh, I feel better. I feel better than I did before. I don't realize why. And then I see pictures of like during the pandemic. It's like, dude, this is like turning a fat bastard again.
Also, you don't notice until you step on the scales either. But like the
Mm,
scales will tell you right now. I didn't even know that you were 100 at one point. That's
yeah.
crazy.
But I'm not, you're indoors, you're not challenging yourself. Nothing's hard. Nothing's hard. So you're like, you don't feel different because nothing's being challenged. The only time you notice like you can like notice your weight or anything is like when you're exercising and like shit's hard again.
Well, doing a pull up. I remember that. I
When
remember,
pull-ups a perfect
dude,
example.
when I saw you, we planned to go like do some trampolining, right? 2015, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
me and my brother and that, like, we were driving to go pick you up to go to the bouncy trampoline place in Glasgow, and I see you. I'm on the phone with you, and I'm looking at you like as we're arriving, like, wow, fat fuck. But I'm like, that was like the first thing that came into my head, right? But people are gonna be mad about that, and they'll be like, "Oh man, why are you making fun of fat people?" But then I'm like, "Fuck, man, who you were, and you liked exercise, and you liked doing the boxing stuff because we did the boxing stuff back in the day, right?" And I see you now. We're gonna do some trampolining. You're obese, right?
Yeah.
A few months go by or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, can you do a pull up? And this is gone. It's gone.
Hell no. Yeah, it's crazy. You go. I remember. Yeah, I remember being like 15, and I was like, okay, I can do 10 in a row, and then it's like, okay, I'm 19, and I can't do one.
It's like dad bod, but like, all the dads in the neighborhood in one body, you know?
I
But
beat I beat those dads.
but
I ate them.
did you ever think, why the fuck am I so prone to gaining weight? Like, why am I so prone to like, going from all right, everything's chill, oh shit,
Mm.
boom, like that.
Woo. I don't know. Pardon me. It's how people are built. I remember watching a show where they like fed like 10 not anorexic, like really skinny people. They just overfed them for like a few months just to see what the reaction was. And like some people, like most of them just gained weight. And then there was like one dude in the group of 10 who like he didn't gain any weight. He built muscle because he was like finally eating enough protein and stuff. And I'm just the other nine. Like I'll just I think I'm prone because I'm prone to like kind of get wrapped into like one thing that I'm doing. So what made me gain weight was for the first time I'm in charge of all my meals, and I'm also there's a farm foods like right next to where I'm living because I got fat when I lived in Glasgow. Like I went from living at home with my mom making my meals to me living in Glasgow with like two other flatmates who were overweight. Um, and I was in charge of my own food. And what I decided my own food would be, because I was just lazy as hell, was a cheesecake every day. And I would eat half the cheesecake would be like my brunch, and the second half would be my dinner. And I got through in a summer. I got through 600 episodes of One Piece, which is my favorite anime.
Nice.
And that's what did it. And it was just like, I'm isolated. I'm having a great time every day because the show is so good. I'm having a great time every day. I'm eating food that I think is delicious. Every day is like, obviously nowhere near the potential it could be, but every day is a good day. And then you just do that for like 2 months, and you're fucking like 3 stone heavier.
Dude, that's like a step-by-step plan, like, how to gain weight.
Yeah,
Easy.
I think, yeah, I think because so that was the thing. Like I might get obsessed. Like I got when I was living with you, I got obsessed with like For Honor for like a whole year. I played For Honor. Um, and yeah, in this case, it was like for a summer, I got obsessed with like just watching anime, and that's what happens. I get addicted and like super focused on the thing, and when you focus on one thing, I'm not taking care of the other things, and in this case, I wasn't taking care of my body, and that's what happened to it. And it wasn't like I hit 16 stone, and then I start going back to like summer's over. I'm going back to my second year of college. I'm doing stuff again, so I can't be isolated in my room doing nothing. So I can't gain the weight the same way I was. And yeah, so that's why it didn't like keep going up. It just from then on it stayed there. And I finally see people who, when I came back from the summer, I just remember the one dude being like, whoa. He like, we have whoa. He's like, but he didn't say you're fat as hell. He said, dude, your shoulders are looking broad.
Yes,
That's what he said.
ignore the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you look, people, nobody's got any problem telling you you look good, and nobody's gonna tell you like, oh, dude, you've taken a wrong turn.
Unless you're like,
Like,
Asian people just tell you like, "Oh, you fat.
yes,
Oh, you fat now, right? Holy shit!" Like,
yeah, so
but right. One thing, your fucking mom, right?
yes,
She's like one of the culprits of this because even when you're fat, like she'll still be like, "Oh, Jamie, you're losing weight. Oh, Jamie, or some other shit like that." And when I was at your house when I was a kid, I was fucking scared, man. I was I was scared of like dinner. Holy shit, that was a lot of food, and the
yes,
fucking plate of rice like this, and I'm like, I don't even
yeah.
know if I can finish it, man.
My mom's a. Do you want more? You've not answered, and she like puts it on your plate.
Yeah,
You're like, God damn it.
but I can see where it comes from, right? She was
On the but
she was giving
on the,
you a
yeah,
lot, man. She gave me a lot. She gave
that's
you
when
a
we were
lot.
kids. That's when we were kids. Although, but I mean, she's actually when I did hit 16, when I was like absolutely massive, she was also the only one who reminded me every day. She flipped a switch. When we're kids, when I'm a growing boy, yeah, you're right. She's like that, very like, oh, raise my child, like keep him confident. And then now I'm a grown boy, and I'm way too big, and my mom called me fat every single day, uh, through like my entire my entire like 1920. She was just like, dude, you're so big. Like, why do
Fuck.
you why are you so big?
What about your
But
dad? What about your
it,
dad though? What did your dad say?
I don't know. I don't think he didn't really comment on it.
He's
I
such a
think
nice
because
guy, you know.
the thing is, my parents knew I was a fat kid, so it's not actually a surprise that I became a fat adult. You know, like they
Well,
didn't.
also you had your hair. Your hair was like growing so fucking long too, so that was like a combo. You know, you were good
As
turning
you
in
know, think
Kung Fu Panda like.
I I don't know what happened. You know, like some kids, maybe they wig out, they like get depressed and start like swearing at the parents and stuff. And my thing seemed to be just stop taking care of myself at all, because it was like laziness. It was like, I just remember one day being like, oh, my friend just never touched my chin, and then so I just want to see what that was like, because why not? And then that happened, and I'm used to not going to the hairdresser. I'm used to having long hair, so I just never went to the hairdresser. I'm like, dude, I go to the hairdressers like once every 3 months, so I'm saving like 40, 50 quid by the end of the year. Bargain.
Dude, like, but
And
that's the sort of mindset that you have. It's just like, it is pretty different than other people. It's like, oh, it's not like, what will people think? It's more like, oh, what are the consequences of like, I'll do this and
yeah,
I'll do this. That makes sense. But
yeah,
but
it's not
eventually,
how I think, it's how I feel. I didn't feel the only time I felt fat, like literally, I was massive. The only time I felt fat was when I'm bending over to tie my shoelaces, and like I can't breathe in, and I'm like, I just remember being like, that's new. That's not happened before.
Jesus.
Like I gotta hold my breath or like breathe out and hold my breath when I tie my shoelaces. And like, I got stretch marks. I didn't notice the stretch marks until they were already there.
Yeah, I remember like here, you showed me some stretch marks, and I said, this was like a kind of a rough time to even talk about it. I was like, oh, do you not like, you did that, like, do you not care about that? And you were just like, oh, it's happened now, you know, as
Yeah.
in, shut the fuck
That-
up. Why are you bringing it up,
No,
right?
it
But
it also was like it genuinely did just happen. Like it wasn't like I got one and two. I was like, oh, it's starting there. It's just like one day I was like, oh fuck it, like that happened.
yeah,
I can't do it. It's I've already fucked it. I can't do anything about it.
how is it now? How does it look now?
It's still the same. I can't. People keep telling me like I can use bio oil or something to use it, but I just forget about it. It's the same. I don't know if the camera is gonna pick it up.
You
Can
have
you
to
see that?
you have to stay very still. All right, stay still more.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just
No.
no, you can't. It's just legit stretch marks. It doesn't matter to like it doesn't matter to people
You can
really.
just
The only
pretend you're
time you
Dwayne
really
Johnson,
notice is
dude. Like,
if I like push my skin together and like you can kind of see the way the stretch marks like push together. It's kind of like ugly and like wrinkly. But
yeah.
it's fine. It's just they're already there from when I inevitably uh get swole.
Yeah, like so once you're Dwayne Johnson, right? You'd be like, "Oh yeah,
Yes.
I got the stretch marks because of my biceps are like 30 inches
Yeah.
wide, or circumference."
I should tell people, oh, how'd you get stretch marks? It's like I used to be like uh on roided up like massive. And then I turned my life around.
Um, I remember when we were you wanted to like move down to my house in England, right? And at
Yes.
that point, you're still obese, and your hair was still like really long. But I was doing some
Yeah.
holidays, and I was taking my skateboard up, and we're trying to do some skateboarding, right? And you started doing some like research on can fat skateboarders exist? You know,
Oh yeah. I remember looking that up.
that was hardcore, man.
I
Like seeing that.
it's more like yes they can, and then me not realizing it's like, oh, because they've been doing it since they were kids. Like they're skateboarding kids that got fat. When you try this is an example of like you don't realize how much harder it is to do when you're fat. Like God, I don't know how I'm gonna film this. Woo. See that roll? It's beautiful, isn't it? Anyway, it's good for learning to move. Leaning on my left leg like crazy, like you're telling me to. Oh shit. So, proof that it's me. Oh, I'm real sweaty. I wonder if I'm glistening. Am I glistening? I'll find out when I watch it. Let's cut this out. Bye, babes. To start it that way is so much harder than it would have been if I was like starting right now.
Yeah. I mean, starting skateboarding is already hard. To get like, you hit like a brick wall for me anyway
Yeah.
on difficulty level. Like, all right, you can go down the street, fair enough. Oh, you can go fast, but can you go down a hill, right? Can you go down the motherfucking
Yeah.
hill? And what happens if you bail? And then one day we decided to do that. 2 weeks after you moved
Yeah.
down, it's like we had all these
Yeah,
plans.
it's
Like
crazy. It was 2 weeks. It was so soon after I moved down.
we had plans of like
Partly
to
because
work out. We're gonna work out. We're gonna do all this stuff, right? Sorry, carry on.
and then no, and that's it. And that's the thing. Like maybe if I hadn't been 16 stone, I wouldn't have broken my collarbone getting off the skateboard. Uh, but it's just
Well,
you hit the ground really hard, so hard,
you decided to,
and
there's where we're living. There was some massive hills that go down to the sea, and I decided to
Yeah, to the
get
beach. Yeah.
on the skateboard and stand up and go down. But I'd already been skateboarding for like, I don't know, 3 months or something like that, and I was like,
Mm,
no,
no.
no. So I decided to go down on my ass. Right, it was like nighttime, and I get to the bottom. I see you at the top, and I'm like, no, don't do it. And I just
And
see
I
you
was,
come
I
down,
believe, I believe,
dude.
I've had, I'm like, I've had all my, I've been having a good time all the time for the last like 3 years. Like, why would this not work?
You broke your clavicle, man. You broke it like a
Yes, mine collarbone.
full fucking break. And the thing is, if you're already obese, right, and then you get such a savage thing that stops you from really doing anything, like all you could do is like, play the games like that, right? Um, that's like
Progress
that's
back
like the
and forth.
perfect excuse. That's the perfect excuse to stay that like that forever. Now it's like, oh, I broke it. I can't do anything, right? But dude, it was only like
Yeah.
4 months. It was only 4 or 5 months later until you started really wanting to fucking fight, man. Like, it's insane, you know? It's insane.
As soon as it healed, and then I don't know how soon after I took my I forgot what you call it. It's not a
The
cast. What's it
sling,
called? A sling.
the sling. When we tried to go to the water park and you were going down the slide so much faster than everyone else because you weighed so much more. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Pros. Yeah. See, there are bonuses to being that way. Sometimes shit's more fun.
Fuck.
Um, way better swimmer. Fucking, I was swimming one armed
In,
out. I don't know, out to the buoy, like I don't know, 200 meters out, and I don't think I could have done that like when we're talking about later when I'm fucking sinking under the ground. But like when I'm a little like porpoise, it's fine. I can do it one arm.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, but of course you feel like you go to the beach, you feel like a beach whale. Crazy scene. Scene. I remember at that water park. You got the guy like taking pictures as we're getting out of the thing, and I remember you saw your picture at the end, and you were like, "Oh, dude, I look grown up. I look like like I've got a man's structure now." And I remember seeing myself, and I was like, "Dude, I'm a blob."
Dude, no, I
Uh,
remember that. I
um,
remember that, dude. I saw myself and said, "Oh, I look like a man now." But what I really meant is, wow, I've been building up a dad bod, and that's what was actually happening, you know,
building
because
that bob. What do you mean?
I was building up a fucking dad bod. The fat there was like, for my body, I developed this horrible skinny fat thing that happened so quick from you know low muscle mass sort of thing, being skinny my whole life, and then you gain weight. It looks horrible. It's like some people look good with more weight on, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not that person. So I see
No.
that picture like, holy shit, like I look like a fucking man. I got the beard and and I'm like, dude, when I look back on that now, all I see is like neck beard, on the way to be like fat gamer. That's what it looked like, you know. I'm a fucking dad already. I was only like 24, 23, or
Yeah,
some shit like that. Yeah,
or
23.
younger.
I think I was 23, man. So pretty fucking nuts. Um, and yeah, I didn't like that. But obviously for you, like, but were you surprised when you saw that picture on the theme park,
I mean, yeah,
on the water park?
yeah, but no. It's like I don't know. It's like I don't know what it is. It's a strange mindset where like you kind of have to accept. I I don't know. Like I knew I was fat, so like it's not surprising that I look like that at all. But you see that you're like, oh, that's a bummer. But I'm not gonna fix it today. And I think that's not the mindset. The mindset is like I broke my clavicle. I could have been doing squats every day. It's fine. I could have been doing the whole time. I could have been doing something, but I just wasn't because I was comfortable not doing anything and nothing was fun. And by this point, I'm finding like I did get to a point where I found like lifting weights like boring
Yeah.
because it's just you lift it, you count to this number, and it's like all right, fine. Whereas when I healed, I mean when you find primal is different every single day.
You don't know if you're gonna
Oh my
die
god,
or if you're gonna, just get a broken nose. Like, don't know which one today.
you don't know. You're like maybe I'll kill someone. Like maybe another white belt, maybe myself. Like, exciting.
Maybe we will have another
Um,
freak out. Ambulance getting called.
that yeah, I don't know. I've been fat for so long. By that point, by the time we're 20, but if we're 23, then I've been fat for 4 years, which is like, well, that's most of my like post 18 like adulthood. Like I'm an adult, and for most of it, I've been obese. Most of my childhood, I was obese. It's kind of like it was almost like where it like felt inevitable. It was the way I was raised, I guess.
But then, like, where you are now, right? Not obese, in good shape, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck would you get there if that whole time you've had all this shit, right? Getting fed a lot and you're gonna be a big strong boy, right?
It's I think it was just it was the right addiction. Where as opposed to eating cheesecake and watching fun cartoons every day, it was like, oh, I'll go to Primal. I'll okay. So we mentioned like ages ago how we did boxing like earlier on because that was an interest. Fighting's and it's been an interest of mine for ages, and I always did like just martial arts because my mom and my dad's never wanted to really my mom didn't want me to do boxing or anything, any sort of like thing that she deemed like serious or dangerous, which is why I was always doing like martial arts. Like I did karate, I did taekwondo, did I do kung fu? I don't know. I did these things for like a few months and then I dropped them. I did judo for that however many years. I don't know why I stuck with it because judo is kind of fun. I still like judo, and
Dude,
obviously
and you even did some competition stuff. I remember that.
yeah, that was my first competition stuff. I weighing in at like 94 kilos for one because they stick the weight on the back of your like judo license.
And you were fighting Connell, not Conor McGregor, but Connell McGregor. What the fuck?
Conor McGregor. Yeah, he was buff Sal. He's my age, and he could lift me up like over his head. He did that once. Instead of like doing a judo throw, he just like picked me up, put me over his shoulder, and then just placed me down. I was like, okay.
Dude, he was beyond so many people in that school. If you really think about it, holy shit! Like, he was like a fully grown man. He was like a fully grown man, like. And
dude, the deepest
fuck.
voice. Laugh like a caveman. That guy matured complete opposite way I did.
He was like a true like Highlander dude, ginger, not Irish. So, I remember like, all right, it would get the transition from, damn, I need to stop living like this, and you go, you go back to Scotland for a bit, and you're like, I'm gonna lose weight, and you're there for a few months. You tell me about like reducing your diet down,
Yeah, I keep forgetting that like
Yeah, that's the
I
point of
can't
contention.
remember. We talked about this. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't find any pictures or anything or like anything to document it. I can't remember if we went to. I swear I went to Primal with the long hair first, but you're right. Then I went up. To Scotland for like 2 weeks, and I cut my hair. Things started turning around. I cut my hair. There was a time. There was when I was gonna move down. I came down for 2 months, and then I went back to Scotland for 2 months.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah.
But if I've been down for 2 months, that must mean I went up to Scotland like with my broken collarbone.
Well, okay, we
I
we,
came back
we did the
down.
water
It must have
slide.
still
The,
been
the
broken.
water slide thing was February, so that was still before your bone would have healed by then. No sling. You went back to up to Scotland.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, there was a time where like I was supposed to move down. I didn't move down immediately. I went down. I went back up, and I came back down. And then I went back up again. That time for only 2 weeks. Um, because I didn't do a crazy diet for 2 months. I did like a diet for 2 weeks. I think something by that time something had changed. I was like, I need. I don't know whether I decided to start losing weight or it was like because still wasn't being healthy. I was like I must have been playing games or something because I can play games and like for like not thinking about my stomach. That's like a bonus to playing games. Is like okay, I think that's what I was doing. I went up for 2 weeks and I did some research and I was like okay, anything under 800 calories is starving yourself. I don't want to starve myself, so I'll just eat 800 calories. And I figured out what that was, and I was having like mainly what I was having was like pasta and like homemade like a tomato sauce to go with it, and that was mainly what I was eating. And then I would have that like twice a day, and that was like my diet. And then just like cups of tea.
Yeah,
um, and I remember, yeah, that's when it started. I cut my hair, and I lost a bit of weight, like maybe a few kilos over 2 weeks, and that was definitely like the start of it. And that is a thing. Like I don't I don't know why it doesn't work the other way. Like for me, if I start gaining weight, well, I mean now it's different. Now if I start gaining weight, I was like, oh shit, I gotta sort this out. Back then, if I start gaining weight, I just wouldn't notice because I'm not paying attention to my weight. That's why I'm gaining it. But when you lose a little bit of weight, everybody finds that really like motivating, and they're like, oh shit, I can keep this up again because I'm seeing instant results. Because when you just start, the results are easy.
yeah,
And I think that's what was happening. Like it was working for like it worked the first week. I kept up the second week, and then I must have come down. And by then, I'm kind of like used to not eating as much food, and I'm also living like I got fat because I got fat living with other obese people. Now I'm living with you, who's like the opposite of that.
oh yeah, the fucking opposite. But it's not like I wasn't eating a lot, which every day I was definitely eating way too much anyway. But it
But it
just hadn't
was
caught up yet.
you did help me with the like have a routine though.
Yeah,
Because what you were eating, I mean, you weren't eating cheesecakes. You were eating like meals. So you would just have you'd have a like simple meal for lunch. I'd join you, and then you'd have the dinner. And obviously, we'd have. I think we'd have breakfast separate times because I was like waking up at 6 a.m. to play games before you came down to work.
yeah,
I wasn't really having breakfast. I was having like a cup of tea in a club bar. But like you eating with you gave me more structure because I'm like actually eating food. Your parents are buying actual food and putting it in the fridge. Um, I don't know. I obviously like at that point I'm still not really an adult. I grew up so slowly. I think I was so reluctant to grow up.
Well, you definitely like grew out. You know what I mean? Like your body manifests that thing, and then your brain was like, "Hey, I'm ignore that." 1 second, gotta let the second cat out. I thought the other cat.
You got two
I
cats.
go
Yeah, how many
this
cats you go, bro?
this one. Can you see it?
Oh, hello. I can see that one.
Grow. Rearrange my dick. So, I was conditioned my whole life to think, all right, I can eat as much as I can, and it doesn't change a thing, right? And I went to Australia for a few months to go visit my parents before, and I gained weight then. I eat less food, I exercise more, but I came back
Mm-hmm.
like half a stone heavier. What the fuck, right?
What?
Yeah,
You think?
crazy.
What was that? Was that? You think that was just fat? That wasn't like you
No,
didn't
no,
build up anything?
no, no. When I was exercising in Australia, that was like cycling. So I really doubt it, then, man. Um, and the reason was because I was eating what they were eating, and what they were eating was not the greatest. So
No.
pork pie stuff and all that shit, right? Um, I've messed around with different diets and which one's gonna bring me the highest gains of weight, and but it's just crazy, like, you know, to just live a heavier weight for no reason, especially if you're not building muscle. That's like so stupid, like, and I do have a theory of, like, some people are more prone to gaining weight easier or losing weight easier because that's like, fat memory, just like the muscle memory, you know?
Oh yeah.
So,
Talked about fat memory and so on.
right? So if you were already fat as a kid and then you lost when you were at like 16, that's when you were like lean, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you got into your 20s, boom, let's get back into being fat again. It's like the fat memory, you know? This is so easy
Might be it.
because I've
That
never
might be it.
I've never got over I've never got to dude, I've never even got to 70 kilograms.
I mean, not. Damn. So I remember how we used to like when I started losing weight, we started fantasizing like, oh, dude, what if we were the same weight one day?
Yeah, because our height is very similar, right? So if we were like
Yeah.
the same weight, similar height, everything, then you'd just be like brown version of me, and and then I'll be like
That's
red
perfect.
version,
Red first.
screaming,
um,
you know?
where you at
Clothes will
right now?
fit. I don't know. But I'd say maybe 62, maybe 61. I'm not sure. I don't have any scales, but I know that I'm at the weight of um, six pack and all that shit. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I could do the muscle ups. I could do probably 20 pull ups or something like that. Yeah, happy with that.
Nice.
Yeah. Um.
I'm so bummed. I was doing getting back into pull-ups. And then I moved, and like the way all my door frames are, that like I can't hang my pull-up bar on any door frame in this fucking flat. Like it won't stay on it.
Is the frame like super thin?
No, no, it's the opposite. I mean, this one I can't do it here because it's got a hinge on the door that gets in the way. And then all the other door frames, it's like kind of, it's not a square. It's like a kind of like curve, like contoured, like you see on the
Yeah, yeah,
tops
yeah.
of like tall ceilings. Sometimes it's like that shape, and it's like it just won't stay on the door frame.
Super glue. Now I'm joking.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
get the hinge, and just get a screwdriver and just take it out, or just
Take
do
the hinge out.
pull ups on the hinge, or just do pull
Maybe if
ups
it
on
was
the door
51
frame.
kilos. Oh yeah, that's sure.
Yeah,
Wow, why didn't I think of that?
right.
Get my crimp on.
Um. So, holy shit. Eventually, you say to me like, dude, I think one thing that like changes it, because it's always trying to figure out how do people change themselves at all, right? Um,
Mm.
getting themselves less addicted to whatever, right? Um, it's all well and done said when people just say, "Oh yeah, do this and this," but they want the real life stories. And being there and seeing your physical transformation, like in person, seeing what you sacrificed and how much you were training, which we'll get to that in a sec. That's the real dedication, and it's just so simple. It's just eat fucking less food, do some exercise. It's as simple as that. But why is it so
Yes.
fucking complicated? But there's a lot of big business, and that we can't forget that there's a lot of big business with this stuff. You know, eat this diet fucking food, and train this routine, and this will make you like burn fat here, blah blah blah. But we know what the real one is.
It's I mean yeah. It's like it's just keep it simple. It's like you can't float. It's like if if you don't eat. I do I don't know. I've watched like fitness shows and they're always like chastise the trainers always chastise like the person for like maybe skipping a meal or two and they're like seeing results, but it's like, oh yeah, dude, I skipped like one meal like one day this week. And they're like, no, no, no. And it's like, dude, it was one day. It was fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I ain't normal the next day. You're
Fuck.
fucking in Bali. You're eating one meal a day, right? For like months.
Yeah, that was fucked. That was not good food
Oh,
though
is
as
that
well.
fucked?
Look, I mean, it saved money. That's
Yeah.
why I was doing it, really. But it
Oh,
worked.
for real. Okay. Yeah. But if you like get used to it, like if you get enough in that, because they're like, oh, you missed a meal. It's like, well, yeah, maybe I had a whole like large Domino's pizza for the other meal though. Like, is that okay?
Well, it depends if you're intermittent fasting or are you binge eating, right? And binge eating is just not
Ooh,
structured. You know what I mean?
no.
So if your body's not used to it and you do like a all you can eat buffet and then the next day you eat like hardly anything, it's kind of fucked, you know? But you
Oh
have to
yeah.
get used to it. You have to
Yeah.
plan it out.
Yeah. I'd agree with consistency. But yeah, that's what I did. People like routines. Your body likes routine. Your body likes it when you fucking eat the same time every day and you get the same. You wake up and fall asleep at the same time every day. These are good things. Sounds boring, but your body likes it.
Yeah.
And I got used to having um lunch, breakfast. I'd have breakfast and I'd have lunch and I'd have enough for the day. And then I would just instead of and then dinner I'm distracted because I would just go to MMA. I go to MMA and I go there for like 2 hours. This is why it worked for me because I would then go for like 2 to 3 hours that day, and I was working part time, so I could do that. What 4 days a week? So it was crazy. But I think the key thing, I think why it's hard for everyone is because it's like, oh, I have to make this choice. I have to make this dedication. I got really lucky and just found out that I find it so fun. It was so fun to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. Having like a special strict diet, that's not fun. But
No,
um
there has to be there has to be something that goes with it. Like, you know, if you're gonna be like, imagine you're gonna get your haircut done, you're gonna get like your fucking beard or whatever perfectly shaved, and then you got like, you know, your body looking real good, nice clothes, right? Because we had that time going
mhm.
clothes shopping and whatever. It's all fucking pointless if you're not ever gonna plan to ever go anywhere. It just feels like, man, how could you justify spending this money? How could you justify like, all right, I'm gonna get the haircut this, if you're not gonna go to this bar or this club, or you're planning to go on holiday or some shit, or be in a music video or shit like that, right? So diet with no exercise or no real community sort of thing, it's like, what's the point? You know, if you did a diet with no
Right.
exercise, what the fuck? It's so weird, especially for a guy. Like, it's not right, man. It's
No,
demotivating.
it's it's uh, yeah, it's way easier when you have a purpose. Like if you set like saying I want to lose weight, that's kind of like a nebulous purpose. It's like yeah, lose weight like for why? Why though? Like oh, so like you feel good. Feel good doing what? Nothing? Are you just still going to do nothing?
Yeah,
That was the thing. That's why I got fat. I wasn't doing anything. There was like no reason to care about how much I weighed. Nothing was getting challenged. On the other side, it's like when I was doing the MMA, it wasn't like it was the opposite way. I was doing this thing that was helping me lose weight. It wasn't like, oh, I want to lose weight, I'm gonna do MMA. It was like, I'm doing MMA. Oh, I'm losing weight. And then but then you do it long enough and you do have a purpose, which is I have weigh-ins
Yeah,
eventually.
exactly.
So you're right. And like even like oh for summer bod, that's again like a nebulous purpose. People working out, that's why people can get ripped from movies. They're like, oh, this movie is gonna happen and I'm gonna be on show. Whereas many people are just like doing it for themselves. And that's probably why an MMA gym helps because people are there to like call you out or like notice it. Like
Yeah,
even at the gym I'm at now, um I have reasons outside of the gym to be losing weight, but like when I am losing weight, people at the gym have noticed and they'd be like, "Oh, dude, you are you like cutting, bro?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm just
well
just
that
doing it right."
well when it's got to do with like exercise and gyms and all that shit, now it's got terms like you're cutting and you're bulking. Outside of that,
Mhm.
it's oh you've lost weight, oh you're becoming fat. You know what I mean? Like everything's got more like
Well,
correct
you're becoming
terms.
fat. You don't usually hear that either because there's like I mean I know people. There's people I see like I'm seeing I see them gain weight. I don't tell them. You don't tell the when someone gains weight, you don't tell the person. That's a that's a problem. Well,
Yeah,
because we don't want to
you just have to get
hurt
used to
people's
it. You
feelings.
just have to get used to telling them. You have to tell them you've gained weight. It's not good. For
Yeah.
why have you done this? Why, right? Or as I mentioned in the last video I did, there was one girl from our school. I'm not gonna fucking name her this time, but she
Shit, what are you
like
gonna say?
I already said like she was in in our school and bro like she just became so skinny like unbelievably skinny, right?
Uh-huh.
And you would have seen this. I would have shown you, right? Holy shit! And as I said, she had a baby, and really didn't fucking change a thing in her body. Like she gave birth to this baby like anorexic dude, right? But she was
Dude, oh,
posting the pictures online, and no one said anything. All they said was, "Wow, you look so great." And she had like
oh,
lips filler, and I don't know if she had surgery on her nose. I think everything. She changed everything,
yeah.
but to be super skinny as well, it was insane. Her skin's like got that bronzing shit on it, and yeah, this really saddening to not see anyone like do a fucking message online. Private, who knows? But online, that's the place, right? Especially Facebook, where everyone's like, yeah, you know.
I just like you posted it. You want my opinion, right?
But the
Uh,
opinion is looking good, girl.
yeah.
Super skinny.
What people don't do that because oh I don't know. Also, people like don't. Sometimes people don't know. Like I was somewhere 2 weeks ago and somebody took a picture and my hair looked. I actually said to them it's like because it was a windy day. I didn't have like it being raining. And I was like, does my hair look dumb? And they're like, no, you're good, bro. And then they took the picture and I look at it and I was like, my hair looks dumb as hell. Like just my fringe was like in half. It was like the wrong way just because of like the wind and the rain. And I was like, I fucking hate this picture. But this guy isn't gonna tell me like, no, you look stupid, man. Like fix it. We don't do that. Do you think it's like more that people want to be liked or perceived as amicable, or like why aren't we honest with people?
Well, because people don't want the responsibility of dealing with. Oh, you said this though. No opinion. They just don't want the responsibility of having the opinion. And you
Yeah.
know, I spent like 3 years over in Asia Town, right? And
Hmm.
they'll have no fucking problem telling you exactly. Like, dude, I went when I went back to the gym. Last time, yes, yeah, yeah. So the last time, last year, I arrived to Bali pretty, pretty low body fat percentage, right? And I was like,
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, yeah, this is great, right? Going to a sunny place, low body fat percentage, and there's like this training coach that was in the gym that I know, um, just talk to him sometimes, and the first thing he said is like, um, I think he said like either yo you're so skinny or you're so small or some shit like that, right? But he wasn't joking.
Yeah.
He was just saying it, right? But you could also call Kyle, fat and that, and other girls would just say like, "Oh yeah, you're fat," and um, but it's true. I was relatively pretty skinny, and some people like they'll give you a hug like, "Oh, where are you? You know, where have you gone?" But that's just the truth. Like that's fucking reality. So
Uh-huh.
are we saying that people in the UK and other places like that, like, what are they just denying reality? Like, yeah, you're looking good. Like, you know what I mean? There's been optimistic, but then there's just fucking lying, right?
There's that see what you're saying, it sounds brutal. It sounds brutal, but at the same time I feel like people should be able to hear that and be motivated. Cause I was what was that? I was talking to a mate and she was telling me what her mate said about me. Her mate said about me that I had this is a few weeks ago. They said I had an overhanging belly, I got fat arms, and I got my forehead's too big. And I was like, and we had a staff party 6 weeks later, and all I was thinking about was like, right, okay, I can't do anything about the forehead, but but I know I don't have fat arms. My arms are. We're talking about how I look good upper body. My arms are like good all the time until I'm like actual overweight. And overhanging belly, I was like, well, maybe the last time she saw me was like right after the pandemic, where that's kind of true. I was like, it was too much. But I heard that those were brutal things to hear. Um, but I was just for the next 6 weeks, I was just getting in the best shape because I had a new deadline. My deadline was this party, and I was like, I'm gonna prove
So
this bitch
petty,
wrong.
bro. Such a petty goal,
It's so
bro.
fake. But you know what? You know what? Good for my health.
Yeah.
Good for my health. There was no deficit to hearing any of these things. Um, she wasn't even at the party. But there I am, 6 weeks later, 6 weeks later, and just in better shape.
Exactly. Exactly. Um.
I think I and yeah, I don't know. Some people aren't like it's all in your head. It's all in your head. People aren't mentally strong enough to hear the criticisms of themselves because they might go the wrong way and fucking just be depressed.
Well, we are living in a world where you know, having grades and all this shit, like it's just like you got competitions and everyone's a fucking winner, right? But we've done stuff where it's like when you're doing fight training, you do fucking lose. You either win or you lose, right? A draw is pretty fucking rare. Um,
Yeah.
and when you're doing weightlifting, you either got the weight or you didn't. Obviously, you got like the did you get good form or not, but you got something like
Mhm.
a deadlift, right? If you have bad form, it doesn't stop you getting the lift if you got the lift. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no opinion about like, oh, did you
Yeah.
do it or not, right? If you just got
No, yeah, no, I've seen guys who, I've seen internet videos of guys who clearly know what they're doing, and they still their back fucking bends and like buckles as they're like hitting this crazy weight, and then they do it, and you're like, oh yeah, that was bad form. Dude, imagine what you could do with good form.
yeah. So you get that world, and it's just like online. I just watch a lot of stuff about like you know there's all these different pillars, red pill, blue pill, black pill, all this shit, right? And the black pill people being like the most fucking just like the depressing like the depressing thing ever. The blue pill is the ones that the guys are like, oh, oh, you just have to be nice, like especially if we're talking in the context of looking good and getting girls and stuff, like, oh, you just gotta be nice and it'll work out. And then the red pills are like, ah, you wake up, from the Matrix, you know what I mean? And then the black
Yeah.
pills are just like, oh man, no, but you're not, oh, you're not 6 foot, you're not like got the perfect facial fucking structure and all this shit, right? Going crazy, right? Um, but that world starts getting a bit nuts because there's so many exceptions. It just starts getting ridiculous, and you know, um, and when you're at the peak of your um fatland, I don't really remember you doing any dating like back when you were like
No.
23 and
Yeah. No. I mean, like, how how could I? How could I? Because I was just indoors and by myself and like not not going out.
no
Uh,
job, no nothing, just like games, eating, you know.
yeah, you just all the wrong things. You don't meet any new people that way. You fucking like make friends on the internet, but they're just I mean they're not real friends.
But
uh,
if there's no such thing as like, fat people are just as good looking as regular folk, then what's the problem then? Like, why couldn't you just go out and do some dating? What why
oh,
why would you think girls would think, oh, this is
that's
not good?
it's just because it's lies. Because it's lies. Uh, it's also a thing like you know you're fat. It's not a problem until you like want to like put yourself out there and like be like, oh, there was this girl I think that liked me, but I was aware of how fat I was compared to her, and it just like shot my confidence, and nothing happened because I was like, surely this wouldn't happen. Um, and yet now it's like why not?
Well,
Now I'm at the dude, you lose weight. I keep bringing this up. People aren't going to tell you you're fat. People will tell you if you look good that day. That's kind of a nice thing because like people are more prone to say positive things.
yeah, sure, but like, if you're fat, right, and you just didn't feel confident, then the answer would be just to build your confidence up, right? Don't change anything of your life. Just build your confidence and go out, be a confident
Yeah.
fat man, and you'll get all the girls, right?
Yes.
That's how the world. That's what they want to tell you. That's how they
Yeah.
want to make it work. Like for instance, if I went out and I was super skinny, no muscle, right? Hey, I'll just say to everyone, "Yo, I'm ripped." Hey, I got 6 pack, everybody. I got 8 pack. Fucking skinny. Got no muscle. Um, yeah, I wear a suit or something. Look like a little boy. Look like a little chimp, right? And then people look at you like, "Oh, is this the first time in the club?" Right? That's not right. I can't just go out
No.
and be like, "Oh yeah, big strong man." No, fuck that. Not big strong man. Skinny as
No.
fuck.
You think no? He's fuck. That's well. This is a different thing. Yeah. I mean, work on your confidence. How do you work on your confidence? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
you lie to yourself and you be like, "Yeah, it's fine. All this down here is good, right? All that matters is up here is game. I gotta get good game without changing my life whatsoever." You know what I mean? Lying to yourself.
maybe I don't. I don't think that. I just don't believe that would have worked for Fat Jamie.
No, obviously I'm being facetious. Like, it's all stupid. The answer is to
No,
actually improve your life completely.
improve your life. Well, also you improve your life. You have more to fucking say when you go up. And you're like, yes, I do things actually.
Yeah, and I overcame obstacles, which was
Yeah.
Fat Jamie. It always makes me think of like, when it's like, yeah, the Hulk does not let me. It doesn't let me, and it's like, oh, puny banner, and the Hulk is like another fucking. Fat Jamie's like the Hulk version. Don't let him come back.
No,
Keep Fat Jamie
he's
away.
definitely in there. He's in there. I fucking like I just before we started this, I just ate an Easter egg, like a full Easter egg. I was like,
Oh yes, Easter.
yeah, it's Easter, dude. Uh, bought it for myself, and like Fat Jamie was like, I want this whole thing right now, and he had it. And now, uh, now, good Jamie is gonna um behave the rest of the day. I had some fruit. I'll go and work out. I work out like every day now because what? First of all, it's easy to work out when you're already like more fit, so it's more fun that way.
Yeah, man, it's
Because you can do,
less of a drag. You know what I mean?
yeah. Because when you can only do like I don't know, there would have been a point when 10 push-ups would have been hard, and that's just disheartening because you're like, oh, I'm in my 20s, I should be able to do like 100. So
Yeah,
it's like it's disheartening, but now it's like you do it, you hit numbers that feel good, and you get them endorphins. I felt shit yesterday, and then I worked out. What was it? I worked all day. I don't remember what I did. I worked like 12 hours or something, and then I worked out, and then I was like motivated, and I went back outside because I was like, fuck staying in here. I feel good. I'm gonna go out and like feel good to the world.
dude, I felt shit this morning. Looking at crypto stuff, like everything's like 17% down. Did 100 push-ups. Come on this, feel pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
So,
That little pump.
and it's like, you know, um, because I've had this goddamn shoulder injury. This is coming up to a year now, and that is depressing. That's like really just like that's a different thing completely. Being fucking like you get an injury, you become disabled, right? If it's bad enough,
Mm.
you can't do it. Like you just can't. You can't get your fucking t-shirt on enough. People say like obesity and stuff. Oh, that's a disease that you catch. Like, yeah, maybe you catch it catch it from the takeaway window. Um, but when it comes down to like an injury that and one that like is goes on forever. This feels like it goes on forever, like a ligament one. A tendon
Mhm.
ligament injury. I'd much rather have it be a bone break because at least yours healed within like what 6 weeks or something. Where this has been
Yeah, it's
like
that thing.
this has been like 11 months.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like when you hurt your toe, right? And your toe was sore for like a year or something.
Yeah, or when I hurt my wrist and I hurt for a year. So, but every single one of it was like some sort of like joint sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Um, Even when I fucking crashed a bike and I get like that healed way quicker than
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
this gym thing. So, I get this and I'm like, fuck. Over Christmas, I just didn't exercise at all, and you know, I didn't really look like that bad. I didn't look like I went to the gym anymore. I felt I just felt bad like that. Like, oh,
Mm.
you know, went to fucking Miami, dude, and saw, you know, Miami is like one of the places where people try to look the best. And you go to the
Yeah.
beach and you see those pull-up bars and all this shit. And I'm like sitting there with my parents, like, I can do that. I I can do, I can. Which actually now I can, for real.
No,
But
you can
before at this, back in January, it would
because
be fucking intimidating to do the muscle ups and stuff.
your version of Fat Jamie is like injured Matthew. It's like there's something wrong.
just like,
There's like a Matthew with like completely fine joints on the inside, being like, I could do that. I could let me out. I could do that.
hey,
And
I'm
you're just
cool
like, nah,
too.
bro, nah.
You ready to go to Snap City? So, uh, dude, like, and the only reason I got this was just going too hard, just going way too hard in the gym, like lifting weights that, you know, now when I look on, I see like, Larry Wheels, the
Larry was,
strongman black guy.
yeah. I know that name. I know I used to watch his YouTube.
Well, I mean,
Used to.
like he's he's massive, and
Yeah.
his max bench press is like it was like almost 300 kilograms, right? And he's with a guy um that is all over Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and he looks
Hmm.
similar size, but I was watching a video yesterday. He was like, "Oh, my max is like 150 kilograms on the bench," and here's me like looking at these two fucking gorillas, and
Yeah.
mine was like 120. So either I'm like, oh, super strong for the size I am, or I was going way too hard, and I was just asking
Right.
for a fucking injury, and there I go, I got it, I got the injury, um, and it was just too much, So, and that's what happens. You lift too much, you go too hard with not enough preparation, and you fucked yourself. And now it's the perfect opportunity to forget the diet, forget the exercise, just for
Hmm.
some ego shit. That's like the complete opposite end, and it definitely made me stop wanting to eat a good diet. That's for sure. Um, but now that I've like physiotherapy myself back into it, got this properly working, I can exercise. Um, it just gets tired. I just get scared more. Like there's no loss of power and all this shit. I just get scared more of, hey, watch out, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, it was like when I broke my clavicle, I was scared of hills.
scared, scared of fucking skateboards, and we were still trying to skateboard even after it was broken. Crazy.
Yeah,
You
I
remember
did. I
that?
landed on it again like 3 weeks later. I was like, okay, that was dumb.
Yeah,
You gotta stop skateboarding and well, I was like just completely stopped. But at the time, it was like, dude, stop skateboarding in the dark. Like, what are you doing? You're like asking for it.
and don't skateboard with a fucking sling on.
No, yeah, like yeah, I can't even stick my arm out properly to like scrape up. Of
Dude,
course, it's gonna
I even
land on my
forgot like
shoulder.
uh so doing exercise now, being able to do the muscle ups, being able to do the exercise. Yeah. Um it's way better. And for us now, to exercise every day, right? It makes me feel like all the diet, which the diet, the diet, not
Mm.
a diet that is a temporary one. The dietary
Everyone's
fucking thing that
everyone's
we have.
yeah, everyone. That's the thing. Everyone's always on a diet. Like people say you're doing a diet. It's like yeah, every day. Just don't think of it as a special thing. Just think of it as like what you eat every day.
Yeah, it's way easier, you know. And when you make a choice, like you go to a restaurant or something, it just you just think like, I want everything, but I know it's okay. It's okay. I don't need to as much, you know. Or when you're having too many meals, like for instance, what is it like? It's like 4:30, and all I've had is some of these because I'm used to eating. I'm used to eating 2 meals a day at the moment, where I eat breakfast very
Uh-huh.
late and then I eat dinner, not too late at night, and it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
I'm able to do so many things because when I eat food, especially when it's like, you know, it can it you have to be strong-willed, right? My situation for this is that I've been living life where I've not been going to the gym. I've just been exercising by myself in my own place or at some public you know, park thing. Um I've not had a
Mm.
group of friends that are all exercising together. None of that. This is fucking solo, right? But I've had years of experience of this, and in terms of diet, there's no one else that influences anything. It's just me. So the diet is good, exercise is good, right? Um, but you know, you can be prone to doing binge eating when no one's watching. Like you're more susceptible to behavior that you would deem fucking irredeemable. You know what I mean? When he's just like alone doing the shit.
Oh yeah, for real.
So that's when it's like, well, who's really controlling what's going on here? Are you doing this for like other people, or are you doing this for yourself? You're never just doing it for yourself because, like, we live on a planet full of people, and you're gonna see them. But there is a certain extent of, you
Yeah,
know, accountability for your own actions. Like, no one knows, no one knows I ate that Easter egg except me. I know. Shit. How do I
yeah.
feel about that? Right?
But it's a shame because also you might go out and be like, nobody knows. I fucking worked out before coming here. I worked out. Did you work out today?
Hey, everybody, I worked out.
Like,
Can you see my pump?
yeah. Like try and get out when you still got your pump on. It's like, dude, look at me right now. Awesome.
Yeah. Right? So it's how you feel.
But no,
Like,
for sure. Like, I think that's why when I was eating cheesecakes, they weren't seeing me eat cheesecakes. They didn't know what I was eating. When I was living with you, we were having meals together. You know, I was eating all the time.
dude,
And
sometimes I'll say to you, like, holy shit. You had like a wrap with a piece of fish and some lettuce, right?
yeah,
And that's what I see you eat. I'm like, dude, don't you want, I was making food. Don't you want this? Don't you want that? And you're like, nah, good. I got my thing, you know? And you really
yeah.
stuck to it, you know? Except the pizzas. Fuck.
Oh, the pizza stuff.
We can't forget about the pizza. There's a place in England, in Essex, one of the best pizza places on the planet, for sure. So consistent.
Is it still there?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be still there.
It's gotta be.
There's multiple
Oh yeah,
of the
you're not there right now.
there's multiple of the same ones, but dude, those pizzas, deep dish, they that was like the guilty pleasure, you know? That was the thing that would we would look forward to. It's like
There,
once a week. Let's go get one. You know what I mean?
I, yeah. Fat Jamie got out once a week.
But we did that together.
It's-
Like, I think that helped it. I think that helped it. You know, keep some uh keep some accountability. Is that
Yeah, yeah,
we bought it together and we ate it together. Separate pizzas, obviously. Like
yeah.
sometimes fucking four, some shit like that. But I really felt like that helped us dip into the fire, look into the sun, and get out
Yeah.
safely. You know?
Because it's two people agreeing, like, all right, this is okay. What we're doing. This isn't like a crazy like. It's not like we're buying a pack of 5 donuts and we're both like just eating it like every other day.
Yeah.
It's like we're just having a massive ass pizza, but once a week, and don't have don't don't have to finish it.
No, just keep it for the next
But
day.
it's okay. Yeah.
You remember?
Man,
You remember when you were
missiles.
doing the that I forgot the competition name. You remember you were doing was it Massive? The competition,
Massive.
Massive?
Yeah, I think that was what it's called. MAASIF.
Dude, you were trying to okay. Was it that you were trying to cut weight? You were trying to cut weight so fucking hard and you were saying to me, "Don't make I don't want to eat no pizza. If I order a pizza, you gotta fucking stop me."
Oh,
You remember that?
I don't remember. I might have
You're trying to reach the weight, you know, for the
yeah.
competition.
Was it that or was it the Interclub? I
That
remember
was like the same weekend,
the
wasn't
in
it?
the yeah, no, the Massive was a couple of weeks after because I was heavier for the Massive one. I know that the Interclub, the Muay Thai Interclub, I had to be 72. The Massive, I had to be under 80, like between 70 and 80. So it was, I don't know. I remember I ordered a pizza. I remember one time I ordered a pizza by myself, and you were like, dude, you ordered pizza without me? I was like, dude, I need this because it's gonna be no pizza for like the next 4 weeks.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah,
I was like, "Fuck you, man!
and
I
I
want
was
a pizza, man."
yeah. But it was like we have pizzas on Fridays, and it was a Tuesday, and I was like, no, I need this. I need this now.
Dude, we started going like it was like once a week, but then it was like every 6 days. Sometimes like every 5 days.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a double dip. I was like, oh, that I got so good.
but I
Oh,
do remember thinking like, oh man, like that's the thing with me. I do get bored. I don't get bored of eating food I think is good. Food that I think is bad for you that's fucking tasty. There's a part of me that's like, I can't do it. I can't do the once a week. And eventually, I started thinking like, I don't even want the pizza, man. But if I don't do it now, I have to wait like another week. Like I gotta do it. And
yeah,
that same
yeah.
thing happened years later with being in Bali where people love this thing called chat time, which is like this milk tea with the little starch pearls. I don't know if you heard of that, the bubble tea. But
Oh, I have heard of bubble tea. Yeah, we have
yeah,
that here.
yeah, this in Edinburgh as well. And dude, like, me and ex-girlfriend have that like every week. And it's like, she's waiting for it. She's waiting for the fucking bubble tea, man. Chat time. And I'm like, I don't even feel like it. I don't even want it. I don't want it. And I'm just doing it just for the sake of it now. So yeah, that's what stops me from getting out of a horrible loop of that. You know what I mean?
Stops you getting out is like what someone else being like, let's do it.
Just to like, you want to go to a restaurant, right? Or you want to have some KFC, blah blah blah. I can't do that every week. My buddy just says, "Bruh, sick of it now." But I could eat porridge. I could eat like eggs every single day. I could eat the healthy stuff, the stuff that I think
Sure.
is good for me. Like I could eat that every day
Yeah.
for
Well,
real.
because it's better for you. Like every time I hate McDonald's, but every now and then, like recently, I found myself having like shitty food. I've had like McDonald's and KFC just because I'm like out with people at night and they're like, I want to order this. Do you want something? And I'm drunk, so I'm like, yeah, I'll have something. And then I take one bite and I was like, why does anybody ever eat this ever? Like, have they not had good food ever?
Shit.
I get what you mean. Like, you, you think you want it, but I can also I can also eat porridge every day because my body says, yeah, this is all right. This is all right stuff. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta listen to that body more. Like I want chocolate. I want chocolate, but I finished eating that Easter egg, and my body's like, dude, I can't take any more of that today. And I'm
No.
like, okay, buddy.
But if you were used to that, man, like that's the thing. Like, you
Yeah.
know, the time of
What the hell
day,
was my body saying ages ago?
right? The tolerance is like if you do fight training and you build up how much stamina you have, right? Same with food,
Mm,
man. Like, wow, I could eat like twice. Hey, I can eat twice as much as everyone. Not even
yeah.
not even full.
You forget what it feels like to feel good, and you feel crap every day, and you think that's normal, basically.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Dude, we need to like pause and like maybe like pick this up later or something. I got to go soon.
Well, that's good because the camera's gonna run out. I mean, this uh we have been like 1 hour 44. So
Oh
uh,
wow, that's longer than I thought.
we can just We can just have like the last thought and then just stop, because we pretty much covered everything I would want to talk about anyway.
I'm wondering if, maybe we do another one. We talk more about your
Camera stopped.
your childhood. Oh, okay.
We could, yeah, we could. You heard the man. You can do it. It's gotta keep consistency. Gotta find a reason why. Gotta find other things to go into together, put it together, and you can be not obese anymore. You can find it. There'll be a part 2 of this though. He wants to ask me questions more about what happened in my childhood. His version of what it looked like for me growing up. Yeah. It's gonna be real interesting. Real